fans are excited.
They certainly are.
There's a reason, man. It's because the Emperor plays next. As you guys can see, Sen falling 2-0 to Sniper. That means Sniper advances to play against IM MVP, who fell down from Code S. That's a tough spot to be in.
Poor Sniper.
But if he's the MVP Sniper, maybe he can do it.
Oh, you're right. He is the MVP Sniper. His name says that he can snipe MVP. We'll find out, though. It's going to be a tough match for him.
Absolutely. I mean, playing against MVP, worst luck of the draw.
But yeah, first we're going to be watching, though, Boxer playing against Seed, and I am so excited.
Now, I think we're going to take a look at our other stream temporarily here.
There we go.
This is going to be STC and 4GG are tied up 1-1 here. And by the looks of things, it's 131 supply for the STC and 4GG at 101 supply. 4GG taking a faster third base by the looks of things. Well, actually, they're both making it at the same time, but it looks like the game is under the STC's control here. And he is actually pushing his advantage by the looks of things.
4GG once again
we can kind of hear Caldor in the background.
I guess this is your first time.
He doesn't know we're listening in on him right now.
We do this to you actually sometimes. I don't know if you knew that, but so we're gonna see. It looks like he's gonna really push this advantage. He's actually getting really in range of the siege tanks of 4GG, but he's gonna pick several of them off. He's in a really good position, and some hesitation by 4GG.
Wow, and he actually lifts up his units in the medevacs instead of fighting with them. Doesn't want to take the tank fire there. Yeah, it looks like, 4GG.
Oh, he's going to drop him on all the siege tanks. There's an okay split. SCV is coming out as well. He may break this.
Oh, wow. He's going to kill all the tanks on the low ground there. And if he stims over on the side, what is he doing? He's fighting the medevacs while his SCVs die on the tanks. It looks like he is going to take that out.
I don't know if that was the best trade for him, though. Look at the worker count. Well, actually, 44 to 38.
He's behind by 30 supply, it looks like.
He's going to get this command center, though, maybe. Oh, a close call. He actually should still be able to get it. If he can target it down, he should be targeting it. Oh, what is he doing? He's got to target that command center. A mule gets dropped to try to repair it. Will he be able to save it? Unbelievable. He saves the command center. I cannot believe the STC was able to save that.
Wow. Yeah, he's really far ahead now. I mean, he's got 3 bases. He's going to repair that up. And Finn is only on 2 bases right now. He's behind in supply by 30 still. And this is really kind of surprising. Oh, he has his 30 he's going to put up as well. A little bit surprising. Finn, he looked absolutely unbeatable in Code A last season. He was just a monster. He got directly into Code S without breaking a sweat. And then this season, when his Code S turn came around, he got annihilated, and now he doesn't appear to be doing too well in Code A this season.
Well, the STC has just been on the up here recently. He did really well in the Korean MLG Winter Arena Finals. I was watching him play there, and I was like, wow, his TVT just seems quite stellar. I believe he was playing against Gumiho, where I was watching his play. He just looked unbeatable, and it's not something I've seen from the STC in a while. We're going to see another engagement here. I think the STC just has way too many Marines to buffer, and look at that siege tank count. Finn falling apart here, and it looks like this may be the end. Those Marines even a little bit over-microed by the STC. That third base is very exposed. You see some empty medevacs. They're not going to be very useful at holding this off.
No, they're not. I mean, medevacs are pretty good, but doesn't do much good if you're only healing up SCVs that are going in to be slaughtered. A little bit slower. Yeah, this is not looking good at all for Finn. He's now 40 supply behind with that, and he's contained as well.
Yeah, and siege tanks are going to slowly push their way forward here. And he's just got such a good position, Moletrap. I think eventually he will just target the rocks with Marines only. He's actually going to use his tanks as well by the looks of things, but I just do not see Finn holding on very much longer here. He actually checks and sees with the SCV, and he's like, oh god. Oh, and there we go. Stimming in the upgrades, about to finish for the STC as well. He's about to have +2 on these Marines. He's deciding to go for the Marines, then pulling back the siege tanks of Finn, taking so many shots as he tried to run up the ramp. He got shelled.
He actually tried to target down the orbital, but Finn was able to mass repair, and so that actually wasted some of the shots from the Marines of STC, and so he was able to survive for a little bit longer. But now the tanks are in position. I think this is going to be the end, Wolf.
I think so too. There's nowhere to run. Marines running into Siege Tank fire. Beautiful positioning by the SDC on his Siege Tanks. And what can 4GG do here? I don't think there's anything. The Orbital will fall, and some of the SCVs as well. Look at the supply now, basically double for the STC.
Yeah, this is a really rough situation for Finn, and I think he realized that he's going to go for one desperate last-ditch counterattack is what it looks like, moving his forces around there, hoping to take the middle, and he's just going to get sandwiched.
Yeah, I mean, that is that, so say goodbye to 4GG this season.
Unfortunately, yeah. Now,
you know, it's so weird how inconsistently well he does against some pro gamers and then poorly against others. And I mean, it's the STC. The STC has historically been good at TVT and offline tournaments, but this time he's playing LAN. He's like right behind us in the booth playing, and he's doing well. And I have to say, I'm a little bit surprised by the results. I did not think the STC would do as well against 4GG.
The STC is a little inconsistent. Like, sometimes he plays really, really well. He plays like a top-level player. And other times he just looks like a scrub, to be honest.
Yeah, very true. Well, here are our players for our next match. We have Seed from IM. Many of you probably remember him for his hallucination build in the Team League and his hidden expansion. He played a very unique game there. He got quite popular from that game because Tasteless and Artosis really talked about his strategy, and his strategy was good in that game, but that was a long, long time ago. This guy is his first time in Code A. He's playing against Slayer's Boxer, who has tons of experience at LANs. Of course, playing in StarCraft 1, he was the Emperor. And in StarCraft 2, he's been up, down, and around. He's fallen out of Code A several times, recently got back into Code S, and now he's fallen out, but he may be able to reclaim his Code S.
Yeah, Seed, he is a player who, I remember back in, it was a long time ago, I don't actually remember when it was, but he got a 3-kill in the Team League against OGS, I believe. He almost got an all-kill, and everyone was like, oh wow, this guy is really good. He's going to be the next big thing. He's going to get into Code A. He's going to be big. And, you know, he had a lot of potential. You know, we looked at him like Tasia started off similarly, and he's been playing really well. And so everyone was like, oh, well, Seed, he did so well in the Team League. He's going to be going places. And then he just dropped off the map for months and months. And so he's finally actually made it into Code A. This is finally his chance to prove himself. And he, of course, got through the first round, but he's going to have to face Boxer now in the second round.
And the map is Dual Site Mole Trap, a good map for Boxer here. We'll see how well Seed can do. The countdown is finished, and we're going to get into the game right now, so don't go anywhere. This is GSL Code A with Mole Trap and Wolf.
All right. Thank you again, Hot 6, for sponsoring this tournament, making it possible. Down here in the bottom left, he played really well in the first round, but can he defeat a legend? First time in Code A.
IMC.
Does not look nervous at all playing against Boxer.
And over here at the right side of the map, we can actually aptly use the phrase, the man, the myth, the legend. He is all three.
Can't hardly go anywhere in Korea with electronics without seeing his face on the wall.
Yep. He's like the main, well, maybe not the main, but he's a spokesperson for Intel here. He's in the commercials and stuff.
Yeah.
Shout out to Collegiate Star League. Heck yeah. CSL for the win. I love those guys.
Yeah.
Really cool league. You should check it out, by the way, if you're in college. See if your school has a team that you can join. You don't have to be a pro to help out with your school.
Yeah, definitely so.
My alma mater, UC Davis, just was the first team to be undefeated in a CSL season.
That's pretty impressive, man.
Go Davis, go Ags.
Well, we see a scout sees no gases for Boxer. Back at home, the gas has been taken for Seed. He wants to harass to lay this wall up here, but he's gonna plant it. Oh, maybe not, not just yet.
I think he wants to trap the probe so he can actually kill it instead of it getting back home to do some more mining.
Very true, and there is the trap. Meanwhile, back at Seed's base, of course, his gateway has finished. Very actively trying to get that probe.
That would be SCV Akbar. That probe's doing a lot of scouting and a lot of damage, though, as an SCV that's very close to death.
Yeah, close call, man. Just 2 more zaps away, but unfortunately, probe taken out.
Marines got its back.
Yeah, man. That SCV is like gonna have to buy him dinner or something.
Now, I'm really curious to see how Boxer does in this match. Traditionally, his versus Protoss has not been his strongest suit. But, you know, he hasn't played it in a while, so we don't actually know where the state of his versus Protoss is. Of course, in the Code S group, he lost to 2 different Terrans, and he hasn't played a Protoss in a while, so we can't be sure what Boxer's condition is in that sense. But he has actually been playing really well in recent months. There was a time when a lot of people were like, oh man, Boxer finally got knocked out of Code A, he's washed up, we're never going to see him again, he's just only going to be a coach. And then, boom! Got back into Code A on his own merits, got right back into Code S as well, did really well at MLG. He has just been playing really well the last several months. A little bit less well, obviously, this month, you know, getting knocked out of Code S, but I'm really, really hoping, and a lot of us old school fans are hoping that Boxer still has it. We're going to find out today if he does playing against Seed.
I wanted to mention, you're exactly right in everything you said. I wanted to mention that Seed's build that he's done here is really unique. He took a gas at a very normal timing and then skipped Zealot and the first Stalker in hopes to get a faster next assault. When he scouted no gases, he even double-checked with his probe, saw no gases. So he was very aware that Boxer's going for a 1 Nexus span, so he got the better end of the build orders here. He actually made his Nexus first, and, well, not first, but quicker than he would have with the regular 1 Gateway expand. So he's been able to cut some corners here, get his Nexus down. At his natural, now he's got 2 Nexi, he's got the ability to Chrono Boost on both of those, and he's gone up to, by looks of things, 4 gateways, and has made 3 gateways, excuse me.
A little bit risky if you think about it, because of all people, who would you expect to maybe do a Macarax or hide something around the map? I think Boxer is definitely high on that list.
Yeah, and Seed actually
especially
is not...
on dual site.
Yes, a dual site is a good map for this, and Seed has not really done that much scouting around the map for any hidden barracks, but he's made an educated guess here, and things pay off for him.
I mean, that's what you have to do in StarCraft. You have to take risks based on your educated guesses, so I'm not saying it's a bad move at all. Anyway, but just pointing out that he did take a little bit of risk, and it's paying off for him. Boxer's now pushing out with a decent group of units. He's got several Marines and a couple Marauders.
Yeah, and Seed sees this. Now, this is a really good map for this type of pressure. This is why it's so difficult to fast expand on this map, is because it's just so wide open. Force fields are not going to be very useful at holding the natural. He only has 2 sentries. It's going to be tough to hold. There's 1 SCV to help bunker here if he can keep that alive. I think with this next round of Warpins, though, Seed has enough, and Boxer will have to go home.
Yeah, he definitely will. Looks like Seed's actually going to give chase. He might force an engagement at a Boxer who has not rallied his units to this. He was just going out with a single army. Now he's sending his units out to meet up with him. He's going to lose a Marauder, and Seed does not want to pursue against that tower where Boxer will have vision, and so he decides to retreat, but puts off that pressure and gets a free Marauder out of the deal. Well played by Seed.
Yeah, really nice powering up, getting those production facilities ready. Without that last round of Warpins that he just dropped in, we would not have been able to hold that as easily, and he just barely had enough. Now Boxer safely is putting 2 bunkers down at his natural. Wants to make sure he can hold against any pressure that Seed wants to counteract with. Since he lost a Marauder, he also knows his opponent may be powering up the gateways, maybe doing a 6-gate or 7-gate timing attack. Seed Chrono boosting out an Immortal now and adding a 4th gateway. No additional tech though. He has taken his 3rd gas, but not his 4th.
Interesting.
We are going to see some pressure here by the looks of things. A probe has sneaked around the top. He's going to drop a pylon. The SCV going to look for that pylon, just barely misses it. This is a really nice timing by Seed. Unfortunately for him, though, the Immortal is not with the army just yet. Now, will he wait for it? That is the question.
Well, it's going to be an okay timing for Boxer as well, because Stim is about to finish. If he'd gone in before Stim had finished, it would be a lot worse. Of course, then he didn't have the units at that point. But I think Boxer's going to be okay. He's got 2 bunkers. He's got Marauders. He's going to have Stim. And he can pull SCVs if really need be. It's still going to be tough, though.
It will be, man. I think he should have made a 3rd bunker. I mean, he even scouted this. He's double scouted.
Oh, actually, there's a lot of more units there than I expected.
Yeah, there's a lot, man. I don't know if he's going to hold this.
He pulls the SCVs off preemptively, puts them in front of the bunker.
Nice. I like that he only has 1 Marauder in there as well, because he knows he's just going to lose that. Wants to have the majority of his units back, and Zealot's not at the front. He's targeting down the bunker. A few SCVs do get pushed away by the force fields, but he's still able to repair it. And surprisingly, Seed not doing the best micro here, has just lost a lot of units, and Boxer actually looking really strong now. He didn't even lose the first bunker.
No, that was really well played. And I like what Boxer did there. He waited for Seed to commit, and he waited for Medivacs before he actually used that stim. He didn't want to, like, you know, use a bunch of health on his units if he didn't think that it was necessary. And so he kind of waited there and was like, well, is he really committing to this? Do I really need to use this stim? And as soon as he did stim, Seed was like, okay, well, this isn't working. I'm not killing this bunker. I need to get out.
I think he's trying to force a stim now, and Boxer is just not taking the bait. He needed to have his Zealots at the front. That was something he consistently did not do when he was engaging this. Now, back at home, the Templar Archives has been started. +1 armor is just now starting. That's the only upgrade Seed has started, whereas Boxer already has +1, and he's getting +1 armor right now. So Boxer doing really well in upgrades. Combat Shield's finishing up. The Armory is on the way with second eBay. That timing is going to be able to start 2-2 very quickly. Seed, despite being ahead in supply right now, the worker count 51 to 47 in Seed's favor as well. Despite all of those things, I feel like Boxer has a pretty firm hold on this game so far.
Yeah, he is doing really, really well. I like the fact that he hasn't even salvaged his bunkers just in case. He's keeping those around, and he's pushing out now for a little bit of counter pressure on Seed. And I mean, he's getting his Armory and upgrades as well. Now, Seed has just started Storm, and that is really going to change things. If Boxer doesn't put the pressure on before Storm finishes, then Storms will wreak havoc on his army, which is ghostless. He doesn't even have a Ghost Academy yet.
Yeah, I think with this scan, he just scanned the natural. He sees there are a ton of sentries there, 5 of them, and almost all of them still have full energy because he didn't do that secondary attack, so his sentries have been gaining a lot of steam here. I don't know if I like this attack. He's going to come over here to the edge, try to pick off pylons and units, but it's just a tough call to make if he's going to attack there. I just don't think it's good. He decides to go back. Boxer concurs, and a third base. This is dual site, and Seed has done what most Protosses would not. He has made a third base on dual site. The factory just barely out of range. He moved it for some reason, so he doesn't see this, and he starts his own third. So this is turning out to be a kind of a funky game. Ghost Cloaking is on the way as 2-2 is starting for Boxer here. A lot of different interesting things playing out here because Storm is going to finish, but he's going to have Cloaked Ghost. Will Seed have enough observers? Will he have them positioned correctly to deal with the Cloaked Ghost? Because the Storm is really what he's relying on now. He does have charge. He's going to be behind in upgrades slightly. His second forge is just now started. It's tough to say who's really ahead in this game, actually, Moltrap.
Yeah, yeah, this is going to be really tough. It's going to come a lot down to the micro. Looks like Boxer is going to have some ghosts out by the time there is an engagement. He's already got one on the field. The second one's on the way.
This battle is going to be so decisive, Moltrap. If he can force the cancel on this command center, he may just be able to take the game. And he's got the ability to force field these units off. If he can react quickly enough, will he do it?
Oh, Boxer is afraid because he knows those Templar are there. If he gets caught by Storm, it's going to be horrible. He does.
He didn't cancel the command center. He didn't cancel. And the Storms are here ready. Nice snipe.
He snipes 2 of the Templar. 1 is still there, but he's only going to have 1 Psy Storm available in this battle. And those Zealots will just absolutely melt to the firepower there without the Storms to back him up.
No pressure from Boxer just yet on the third. He stimmed all of his units charging at the third. There's a cannon, though, and 2 Templar with Storms.
Actually, do they? Yes, they do have the energy for Storm, and Boxer retreats. This is looking bad for Boxer.
Yeah, very grim indeed, Moltrap. I mean, I think Boxer's he's about to have 2-2 against just +1 armor for Seed, but with all those Templar in the mix, if he spreads them well and gets any Storms off at all, Boxer is going to be out of luck. A lot of Zealots charging too early here, though. Boxer getting a great amount of hits on those Zealots. Never a good idea to send Zealots into a watchtower like that.
Yeah, he is really, really Zealot heavy in his army, and Boxer might be able to just take advantage of that, especially if he can get some good EMPs off, take the shields off them. But it is just going to come down to the Psy Storms. If he can, like you said, if he can get some good Psy Storms off, he will win the battle. If he does not get good Psy Storms off, Boxer will easily beat that army just with some nice kiting.
He's just got so many Zealots in the mix with good kiting. The problem is Seed's army is now so big, and he has his third base that's been completely uncontested. Boxer's not been able to put any pressure on it. He tried, but it did not work. And Boxer's third base, his third command center, is just now finishing. It's not even in position. He has to make it into an orbital. He already had he didn't even cancel his first one. He lost it before it was canceled. And Colossi are already on the way. He has no Viking infrastructure whatsoever. He has made 0 Vikings. He's going to go in here. Crazy attack by Boxer. He wants to make this work. I don't like using force fields here. That doesn't make sense. He needs to engage this army head on. He's going to start picking away at that Nexus.
Oh, he's just trying to make the unit clump up so he can get some side storms off. He's baiting those storms really well. There's only a couple storms left.
Cloaking comes into play!
Oh! Cloak goes going in, sniping everything. Gets all the Templar. There are no more storms left. Except that one Templar. He needs to get that Templar. He needs to get that one Templar.
He needs to get it. Oh, Storm does go off, but it hits more Zealots than anything else. I think Seed hesitated too much, but another Storm. And that is enough to push Boxer back here. Seed being way too hesitant with his army. He's doing it again.
And
the Nexus may
is
go
going
down.
to go down with just a few more hits. But Boxer backs off to engage the armor. He's backed into a corner. He's forced to fight. He's going to lift up and try and get out with the Medivacs. And there's not enough Stalkers to pursue. Wow. That was so close for both those players. Boxer had a chance to actually get ahead if he'd taken out that Nexus and the rest of the army.
Yeah, way too much hesitation by Seed and those battles. Boxer almost not only took out the Nexus, but won that game. If he had just engaged again and Seed had backed off and lost a few more Zealots here, a few more Zealots there like he was doing for several moments of that engagement, he could have just lost the game. More and more Ghosts coming out for Boxer as he starts Viking production. Boxer's about to be up to 10 Ghosts. That's a lot of EMPs, a lot of snipes. I like the Boxer's choosing to use snipe against the Templar rather than trying to EMP. That's very effective. It's basically a surefire way of making sure you can EMP or kill the Templar before the storms go off.
Yeah. And then, of course, they don't turn into Archons, which participate in battle as well. But yeah, the Colossus production is really going to be a problem for Boxer. He doesn't have a lot of Vikings. And you saw that's when Boxer withdrew before, was when the Colossus showed up. And oh no,
he can force field him again. He does. He doesn't force field the best way though. EMP hits 3 High Templar, but still one storm hits all the Ghosts.
Ugh. That was close. A lot of the Ghosts at half health now, but he's going to be forced to retreat. And a little bit puzzled by that. Only 2 Vikings there. We're not going to be able to take out those Colossus very quickly.
Yeah, I feel like Seed he's playing a safe game here. He's got his 4th base going up at the bottom right now, but he's hesitating a little bit too much in these engagements. He needs to be committing more. Now, he does have +3 armor. The upgrades for Boxer are 2, 3, so he's got +3 weapons, so they kind of have the inverse of upgrades as +2. It's actually not as close to finishing as I thought for Seed. He got it a little bit later. +1 ship weapons is halfway done for Boxer as well. He's making 3 Vikings at a time, so his Viking count is rapidly increasing. He's about to hit that 8 count.
And yeah, this is really precarious for Boxer. He's got his army over here. He needs to find the perfect spot to engage though, and he needs to take those Templar out before they are an issue, because the Colossus are going to be bad enough. If there's any more AoE in his army, it's just going to melt.
Not a lot of Stalkers for him though. He only has 5. A decent EMP, but the army now is trapped. It's got nowhere to run. The Vikings are not engaging Mole Trap. They're not participating in the fight at all. Storms and Colossi are decimating his army. He's still not engaging with the Vikings. And a huge storm, and I think Boxer may just lose here. There's not enough anti-air to protect the Colossus, but the damage has been done.
Oh no, and he sent his Medivacs in as well. They're all going to die. Everything of Boxer's army dies. And Seed is left with a substantial army, and he's not even going for that 3rd. He's going for the kill.
GG! Boxer microing that battle so much. His Vikings did not participate. He was ahead in upgrades, but Seed played safely defensively during that entire game. Was very scared at certain moments, but still, I guess you could say slow and steady wins the race. I loved his attack at the 3rd base. It was beautifully timed. He didn't wait for Boxer to attack his 3rd that was coming up. He took the fight to Boxer.
Yeah.
And even if he hadn't killed that 3rd, he would have at least saved his own. He would have put Boxer's army in the position he didn't want to be in. Boxer looking, he's got that little goofy Boxer face, and he's like, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not a good feeling to lose on dual site to a Protoss either. It's a map historically where Terrans have done a little bit better in that matchup, so you know, it's tough to say how Boxer's mindset is now, because his build was strong. Yeah. He executed it well, and he controlled the center of the map during the beginning of the game. He did that pressure move. He only lost a Marauder. That's fine. He seemed to control the game. He had faster upgrades. His timings were really strong.
He had a lot better upgrades in general.
He had personnel cloaking on his Ghosts. He had a decent Ghost count, but there were just so many problems with how the game played out for him.
Yeah, he just he didn't, it was almost like he wasn't sure exactly what to do, and so he kind of froze up a little bit there. Didn't send the Vikings in, let the Ghosts just kind of stand there and get stormed and then get killed. And then he kind of like at the last second cloaked them, but it was too late because he needed those Ghosts, even if they died. If they died and they EMP'd the Templar or sniped the Templar, it's okay, because then he can actually engage, have the Vikings engage the Colossus and actually have a whole engagement there. But instead he's like, oh, I might get stormed. I don't know what to do. And he kind of fell back, trying to find a better place, but there was no place to go.
No place to go, man. I mean, we saw the Boxer army get into the corner, and that's exactly what a Protoss wants. He wants them to be in the corner. During that time where he's retreating with his bio, he should have had his Vikings attacking, but I think Boxer got a little bit nervous, froze a little bit there, and in general was not able to do the DPS those Colossi he needed to. And I really liked his snipe play. His snipe play was good. He was able to snipe a lot of Templar, got some decent EMPs off, but in the end it just was not enough.
Yes, indeed. And too bad for Boxer. We're going to go into game number 2 here in just a minute. And I just want to point out real quick, it's interesting that you mentioned that Seed was being indecisive in that game, because in the past, that's actually been Boxer's fault. Like, that's why he was not doing well in Code 8 in previous seasons, because he would be too indecisive and he would have the advantage, but he'd be like, I don't know if I should commit, and he'd kind of dance back and forth and not really attack and not really defend. So Boxer being a little bit more decisive in most of the battles in that game, but in the end it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, the final one was just the one he was not, I guess you could say. Well, our next map is going to be Cloud Kingdom, a recent addition actually to the ladder pool. So props to the ESB team, formerly the IC Cup team, of course, for those of you guys who didn't know that. Making a good map, Cloud Kingdom, which, you know, has even been accepted to the ladder, so it's a map you've all seen and played on before, most likely. It's loaded up here. Seed against Boxer. Can Boxer tie up the series 1-1? Is he going to continue being the Emperor, or will Seed 2-0 him here and make an upset? Let's find out here at the GSL Code.